What are some biological life hacks that actually work? If you have a blocked nose right now, try this. Exhale completely out of your mouth until your lungs are empty. Do not breathe back in yet. Pinch your nose with your thumb and forefinger. Don't breathe yet. Tilt your head all the way back and then all the way forward. Do not breathe in yet. Repeat the head tilting exercise for as long as you can hold your breath. When you can't hold it anymore, let go of your nose and breathe in a nice lungful. Your nose will be clear, at least for a long enough time to use some nasal spray and clear it properly. If you need to draw a straight line without a ruler, draw 2 dots and put your pencil on one of them. Stare at the other dot and draw your line without looking anywhere else. Our brains will automatically make our hands go to where we are looking, creating a straight line. Just tried it. What the hell? It's like I'm not even controlling my own hand. Weird, huh? It's a trick my dad taught me when I was a kid. He was a draftsman before computers and everything was drawn on paper. If you take a warm shower before you get in bed, your core temperature will drop as you lie in bed because it rose in the shower, which your body reads as a stage of falling asleep, leading you to fall asleep much faster. I'm an insomniac and most prescription sleep meds don't work for me, but this plus better sleep hygiene has helped me a ton. What is sleep hygiene? Keep your bed clean and comfortable. Don't do anything other than sleep in it. Keep water by the bed and don't eat right before you want to sleep. Try to go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day. If you get a stitch in your chest, usually from running or just random, that bothers you when you breathe in past a certain point, you have to brace yourself and breathe in all the way quickly. The trick is to do it like the lung equivalent of pulling off a band-aid. As someone who gets these all the time, 80% of the time it'll be gone immediately. It's called a precordial catch. I find it too painful to breathe in all the way, so instead I hold my breath right at the point where it starts to hurt. It goes away after holding my breath for just a few seconds. I guess that's the equivalent of peeling the plaster off carefully. I get them a lot, and they usually last for a long time, up to even 30 minutes. You know what helps? Burping. Gather as much air in your throat as you can before it starts to sting and burp. It goes away almost immediately after. Try it next time. Now they never bother me anymore. Such an easy fix. I might be late to the party, but if you mildly hurt yourself like a stubbed toe or a paper cut, pinch yourself somewhere else and focus on that feeling. Your body assumes it's more painful and stops feeling the pain from the other spot as much. It helps lessen the length of time that you have to deal with the pain of the injury. I don't think this will work for gunshot wounds or decapitations, but I haven't had the chance to test it yet. Rolling around and stretching on the floor for 5 to 10 minutes helps to relieve a huge amount of body aches and soreness for me. It's something I'm doing fairly regularly now because it works miracles when I'm physically spent at the end of a long day. Highly recommended. If someone else has hiccups, ask them when the last time they saw a white horse was. They'll think about it for a split second and give you some sort of answer, then their hiccups are gone. Sometimes I do this to random people and do not even tell them why I asked. They usually walk away thinking I'm some sort of weirdo, but hey, their hiccups are gone. Every time I pee, I scratch this one spot on my back. Now, when it is important that I pee before a long car ride or know I'm going to a place without a restroom, I go to the bathroom and scratch that spot on my back and I start to pee whether or not I had to. If you get a lot of mild headaches that feel like they might be caffeine headaches or maybe tension headaches, try drinking more water. They could be caused by dehydration. Walking each day for a certain amount of time increases your mental capacities. If you get up to go to the toilet at night, close one eye and keep it closed while the lights are on. When you turn the light back off, the closed eye will be adjusted to the dark. My father had a knee replacement a few years ago and tried to tough out the post-op period at home without any opiates. This led to one incident of pretty severe pain which made him finally pop some Percocets, but before the drugs kicked in, he was still thrashing around in agony. To take his mind off of it, I started asking him about his college apartment in all kinds of elaborate detail, like what kind of carpet was on the floor, what color shower curtain did they have, what sort of dishes, and on what shelves that they were kept, etc., etc. It forced him to focus his attention on his memories of this place, and not on the pain he was currently experiencing. It was successful, at least long enough for the drugs to start doing real work on the problem. My friend uses this tactic to help people if they're having a panic attack, or have gone similarly funny from ingesting too many recreational substances, asks them to describe something in detail, keeps them focused on something else, and distracts them from being worked up. It's a great idea. If you have a bit of acid reflux, sleep on your left side. However, if you experience it frequently, talk to your doctor. Or sleep on 2 pillows. Helps keep the acid down where it's supposed to be if your neck is elevated. It also helps immensely if the acid reflux makes your voice croaky in the mornings, but echoing the statement above, if it bothers you, see a doctor. It really helped me. Source: I have acid reflux. Furthermore, avoid eating or drinking things that provoke acid reflux. Caffeine, smoking, and alcohol are supposedly the worst. Sad face. But I find garlic, onion, and anything spicy really causes a lot of pain. Basically anything that gives taste to food. Another sad face. If you want to make yourself sneeze, try staying in a dark place for a while and then going out into the sun. For 18 to 35% of people, that'll induce a sneeze due to the photic sneeze effect, or autosomal dominant compelling helio-ophthalmic outburst syndrome, or ACHOO, because scientists especially love a good acronym. Thank you! I'm one of the 18 to 35% of people, but nobody else at work is apparently, because everyone acted like I was insane when I told them to look at the sun if they need to sneeze. Glad to hear this is a real thing. The pinhole effect. If you're short or long-sighted, then take off your glasses and make a tiny, tiny hole with your hand. Look through it and read something you normally couldn't. For photographers, doing this serves to reduce the aperture, thereby increasing your depth of field and putting more things in focus. If you're worried you're going to throw up, your mouth usually fills with saliva a minute or two beforehand because the contents of your own stomach are harmful to your throat. It's a pretty good indication that you're going to hurl. Drink water before bed if you want to wake up early. That Christmas episode of The Simpsons changed my life. Sometimes in the morning before my shower, I'll sit on the toilet to pee rather than stand. When I'm done peeing, I'll continue to just sit there and read the news or whatever on my phone. 7 times out of 10, I'll end up pooping if I sit there long enough. This prevents that horrible situation where you shower and as soon as you get out, you have to poop. I'm not a morning person, so perhaps if I got up a little earlier and had a cup of coffee, things would progress naturally, but this works for me. Life pro tip: sit to pee. Cleaner toilet, comfier, plus you maybe get the chance to poop. Yo, seriously, start getting exercise. That crap works. Go hard. Go beyond what you expect you can do. You'll feel great. I feel like I must be exercising wrong. I've never experienced anything like an exercise high. I just feel tired, bored, and sweaty no matter what I do. I keep doing it because I know it's healthy, but it never stops feeling like an unpleasant chore. Meanwhile, my coworkers talk about running like it's cocaine, and I don't understand at all. Get adequate sleep. Do you have any life hacks on how to do that if you're a chronic insomniac? My friend used to be a semi-insomniac, never properly diagnosed but often had completely sleepless nights. And after developing a proper workout routine, it helped immensely. Working out for 20 to 30 minutes each day will help you. But even if it doesn't cure your insomnia, it has immense benefits in other areas. Everyone owes it to themselves to work out regularly. If you get brain freeze, either breathe with your mouth open for a few seconds and power through, or try to use your tongue to warm the roof of your mouth. You can do those spot the differences pictures instantly with a little practice. It's the same technique you use for free viewing stereophoto pairs. Cross your eyes until the 2 pictures merge. Then, this is the hard part, and it takes some practice, bring the merged image into focus. The differences between the 2 will stand out as depth anomalies in an otherwise flat image. This works because your brain is set up to compare the images from each eye to determine the depth of every point based on the parallax shift. The parts of the 2 flat images will still be a flat image at a different depth when you cross your eyes, but your brain doesn't know what to do with the parts that don't match up, and they look weird in a way that's hard to describe. I've compared whole documents a page at a time this way. You can spot a single letter difference in a whole page in a language you don't even read. Hate running? Try changing your stride to lots of smaller, shorter steps. Went from 3 miles being a monumental hurdle to twice a week 8-mile runs feeling great. It's a lot easier on your knees and feet too. Also, audiobooks help with boredom. Run outside, not on a treadmill. I hate to use the phrase, but it was a game changer for me. Also, I learned to try slowing down and get my technique right and repeatable. Then after I was able to gain mileage, I was able to make my per mile time faster. Another surprising thing, getting the right shoes and properly fitting running gear where I feel like I look good makes me feel good. I don't know, sounds shallow, but now I look forward to my runs and I can say this is a part of the ritual. Not sure if this fits here, but vinegar is super useful. I use it in a lot of ways. I'm a very greasy and sweaty person, and sometimes my body odor builds up to the point where I can still smell it fresh out of the shower. I also tend to get jock itch and athlete's foot pretty often, and have tried tons of things to fix these problems, including prescriptions, but ultimately found vinegar to be the best. Just spray some on the problem area, wait a few minutes and hop in the shower. The vinegar kills the bacteria which causes the issue. It kills odor so well, you'll probably be able to get away with not using deodorant for a few days after. It's also a great antihistamine that instantly soothes itching, which also makes it great for sunburns and insect stings, particularly apple cider vinegar. Not only does it make the sunburn stop itching, but it stops the pain as well and seems to temper the sunburn into a tan. Minimizes peeling as well. I really can't emphasize enough how well it works on sunburns. More soothing and helpful than aloe for sure. It stinks, but only for about 5 minutes, and you'll eventually get over the shock of the smell. Cramped your foot? Grab your big toe and pull it forward and wiggle it about as fast as possible. The cramp goes away. Not sure if it's just a placebo type effect, but it works every time for me. This is called autogenic inhibition. You're stretching the muscles, which causes an automatic reflex in the muscle, using Golgi tendon organs which sense muscle tension to release the cramp. This is also why standing on your leg when you have a Charlie horse is the fastest relief. For hiccups, take a deep breath, swallow twice, then exhale slowly out of your nose. I have no clue why it works. I just had hiccups yesterday and Googled how to get rid of them and this worked. I'll definitely be using it next time. I tell myself to hiccup again and get all stressed with myself. Go on, hiccup again. And the pressure of trying to force an involuntary action seems to prevent further hiccups. For tinnitus, place the palms of your hands over your ears with fingers resting gently on the back of your head. Your middle fingers should point towards one another just above the base of your skull. Place your index fingers on top of your middle fingers and snap them, the index fingers onto the skull, making a loud drumming noise. Repeat 40 to 50 times. Some people experience immediate relief with this method. Repeat several times a day for as long as necessary to reduce tinnitus. Dr. Jan Stridham of A to Z of Health, Beauty and Fitness.org. Raising your feet and leaning forward when pooping. Imagine a downhill skier's body position. No straining due to mimicking the action of squat toilets, or just use a squat toilet. You can help loosen a plugged sinus by alternating pushing on the roof of your mouth with your tongue or thumb, then using your other hand to push just above the bridge of the nose. Also, a finger up the rectum is the best hiccup cure. I'm serious. Mindfulness meditations can actually cause your brain to change physically to make you less anxious. Started going to yoga and it really helped for me. The best one was telling us to think about our intention. Mine was peace because I overthink. You think about the word peace while you inhale for 5 seconds, then you imagine the words everything else. Leave your body as you exhale. I do this 10 times a day and I don't feel as anxious anymore. I was having an anxiety attack coming on before I read this. I tried it and it helped, so thank you. Not sure if this counts, but putting food on a smaller plate tricks your body into feeling like it ate more. It tricks your brain, not your body. I like to think of it like this. Humans now have constant sources of food and water, but this is only a recent occurrence. We are animals, and animals don't always know when the next meal is coming. So if there is food in front of you, eat it all and eat it as quickly as you can. You know that minute or so delay between when you stop eating and when you are actually physically feeling full? I like to think that's my brain going, shut up stomach, I'll say when we stop eating and we stop eating when all the food is gone. Weight loss is 75 to 100% diet. Going to the gym and running a mile does not burn as many calories as you think. A professor did a study where he only ate Twinkies for a month because the caloric intake was low. He lost weight, or maintained it. This truly showed it was the volume and less about the contents of what we eat, which controls our weight. Obviously, you get no essential vitamins and nutrients from just Twinkies. I don't advocate it, but all these diet fads are useless. The key concept is controlling caloric intake. That's all it takes. I looked up how many minutes it took on the treadmill to burn off the calories of adding cream to my morning coffee. Then I stopped adding cream to my morning coffee. Black coffee is the best anyway. Plant microclover in your lawn for free fertilizer and food for bees. If you're laying in bed and half your nose is blocked, roll to the side where the clear nostril is against your pillow, and you'll find that within about a minute your blocked nostril will open and you can breathe easily. Vitamin D. Started taking it along with multivitamins, and I not only get sick less, but I'm so much happier. I used to struggle with frequent depression, and now it's rare. Vitamin D won't work for everyone, but holy crap, give it a try. You've got nothing to lose. Just don't take more than 10,000 IU a day for more than 3 months because you'll get toxicity. I take 4,000 IU a day. Talk to your doctor about dose. I'd imagine taking 22 pounds a day of anything wouldn't be good for you. Yeah, it's actually 10,000 IU or international units, not grams, or around 0.25 milligrams. For males, sorry gals, to get rid of that underwear dribble that happens after you go pee at a urinal, use your finger, press it against your scrotum near your taint, and while keeping it pressed, slide it in the direction away from your taint. You'll know you've done it correctly when you get one last squirt of urine and no more dribbles. Well, eating high fat and high protein and low carb, like fewer than 20 grams per day, will make you lose body fat, even if the comparable number of calories consumed is higher. Do you have an example of what would work? Like what kind of meal? Steak and eggs, both fried in butter with wilted spinach or broccoli, coffee with double cream or blended coffee with unsalted butter and coconut oil, omelets made from full-fat milk filled with cheese, chorizo, and chili. If you Google LCHF diet, then it gives you loads of tips. I recently started sitting to pee. To be honest, it's a much better way to go to the bathroom. You can sit, sometimes you poop, and you don't have to get into that awkward urinal situation. Do you want immunity from infections without actually being sick? Try subcutaneous injections of weakened and inactivated viruses and bacteria. The bacteria and virus will not produce symptoms, but your body will still make antibodies, often providing lifelong immunity. Just ask your doctor about the greatest biological hack ever invented: vaccination. If you are shy like me and get a little nervous before walking into a party or something, then try, while alone, making yourself as big as possible by raising your arms over your head and exaggerated posture. This won't give you a night of confidence, but it works for a little temporary boost. Awkward boner? Need to get rid of it fast? If you're sitting down, just push your feet as hard as you can into the ground for 10 to 15 seconds. This will flex your leg muscles, and more blood will go to them than the boner. Where was this when I needed it? 1. Drink a big glass of water first thing when you wake up to help hydrate, kickstart your metabolism, and wake you up more quickly. 2. Eating a high-fiber diet with lots of raw vegetables helps lower blood pressure and makes you feel better in general. It also helps keep you from binge-eating cookies or whatever while simultaneously improving your entire digestive process. 3. When trying to see something at night, don't look directly at it. Look slightly to the side and it will appear more clearly. 4. Getting enough sleep really does dramatically improve your waking existence. The same goes for staying hydrated. 5. Just 30 minutes of any kind of activity, even walking each day, is proven to return tremendous health benefits in many ways, including all the benefits listed above. If the average person drank 3 to 4 more glasses of water per day, ate a couple servings of raw veggies, went for a walk each night after dinner, and posted up 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep each night, our society would literally be much healthier. These things are all easy to do, but doing nothing is, sadly, even easier. My friend who quit smoking recently told me this. He used to smoke majorly to relieve work stress, not that he was too fond of smoking. His yoga teacher told him the reason he felt relieved when he smoked was because the long puffs of smoke he inhaled and exhaled were nothing but deep breaths. He advised him to sit and practice deep breathing whenever he feels like smoking. It's been 2 months since he quit, and he says all we need is to breathe deeply in this fast-paced life. Use your fingertips to raise your brow, and rest it lightly on your fingers this way for a minute or so. Relieve sinus pressure and stress headaches. I've worked in mental health, and we had our clients do this to cool off since feeling crappy after yelling often made them act crappy. Eventually, they understood as much themselves and took steps to try and cool off on their own, in this way and other ways. If you force yourself to smile, your brain will just assume you're happy and trick you into feeling better, or something. Might work if you're just having a crap day or something, but it doesn't work for clinical depression. I don't know if this will work for everyone, but when I was a kid, my parents took me to the doctor and got me vaccinated. And simple as that, I don't have polio or hepatitis C or HPV. Amazing, right? Not a human body-related one and pretty late to the party, but you can grow a stick into a bush or tree. For example, you come across a raspberry bush and you wish you had a raspberry bush. Here's what you do. Ideally, you wait until the plant is dormant, maybe between November and March in the northern hemisphere, depending on where you live. Basically, when the plant has no leaves, cut off a stick a foot long or a little more, over 30 centimeters. It should have several little fat spots on it called nodes or buds. Keep the stick wet. Once you get it home, gently peel back an inch or so of the bark at the bottom. Some people add a substance called rooting hormone at this point, available at any garden store. Stick it in the dirt so that 1 or 2 buds are out of the dirt, maybe covering a half or 2/3 of the stick. Water the dirt. The pro tip at this point is to keep the bottom of the dirt warm but the top of the plant cool. It's not always required but helps a lot. People use heat mats for this. This is no slam dunk, but half the time or better you'll get a new plant. Cloning is not just for laboratories. Forgot to mention that it is absolutely critical to plant the cutting right side up for many plants, if not most. People keep track of which side goes up or down by cutting one at an angle. Also, all this is really pretty general. If you know the name of the plant you want to propagate and want to do your homework, Google propagate your plant from cuttings and see if there are variations from this technique for that plant. Shorter or longer cuttings, the number of nodes, rooting hormone, etc. It won't work for everyone, but for me, I have a milk allergy. Every time I drink more than a half a liter of milk, my nose clogs up and I can't smell. Before my anatomy classes, where we work on cadavers and smell a lot of formaldehyde, I drink lots of milk, so I don't have to smell that god-awful formaldehyde. I started drinking almost 3 liters of water a day, and I feel amazing, and I've lost 10 pounds in a good way. 1. Save PDF files of research papers in first author _title_of_paper format. 2. Create 5 yearly folders in your references directory, like 1980 to 1984, 1985 to 1989. Saving papers in this fashion will give you a nice idea about what's happening in a particular field over time. Also, you are forced to pay attention to the publication date of a paper before saving it. Working out before eating breakfast accelerates your weight loss routine, has been used by cyclists for ages, but you should build up slowly to allow your body to get used to empty stomach training. First 10 minutes, then 15, etc. To speed up things even more, work out before going to sleep. Don't eat, and again in the morning, but don't force it. If you're out drinking, have a glass of water in between every alcoholic drink. A big percentage of hangovers is just dehydration. I do this every time I drink and I've never had a hangover. If you often find yourself lying awake, wondering if you really need to go to the bathroom or if you can go back to sleep and ignore it, the thing to do is tell yourself now that when you recognize that situation, you must immediately get up and go, because let's face it, you will eventually have to anyway. Your half-asleep brain is very bad at making decisions. Make the decision now, and your half-asleep brain will know it was a good decision made while you were in a better state, and you can trust yourself to just do it. Then go back to sleep. 1. Sleepy? Fight drowsiness by chewing on food. For some people, their body is programmed to stay alert while eating. I've never been sleepy while eating. A bag of chips or candy, chewable, not hard candy, can give you a quick sugar rush. 2. Eye fatigue from too much computer or TV? Take 30 seconds to focus and stare at a faraway object, cup on the coffee table, the tree outside of the window, etc. Your eyes will recalibrate back to normal. 3. Got an itch inside your ear? Try scratching the inside of your mouth near the tonsils. For some reason it works. 4. Water stuck in ear? Turn your head to the side, water ear down, and slam your head downwards onto a soft surface, pillow, bed, sofa, etc. Literally forced water out. 5. Clogged sinuses? Heat up the snot to make it run out. Either breathe in steam, head above boiling water trick, or 30 seconds to a minute of intense jumping jacks or shadow boxing should do it. 6. Trying to avoid a sneeze? Breathe out sharply through your nose. Works 50% of the time for me. Conversely, if you feel a sneeze coming on, you can encourage a sneeze by taking tiny breaths in and out through your nose. This mimics vibrations of your nose hair, which can trigger a sneeze. Works 30% of the time for me. 7. Want to hold your breath longer? Relax and lower heartbeat. Take a few calm, deep breaths. Restores deep oxygen reserves in tissues. When ready, take a breath up to 85% of your lung capacity, not 100% because that will make you want to breathe out faster. When you start to run out of oxygen, slowly breathe out to give yourself a few more seconds. Go even longer by not making frantic movements or exerting too much energy while holding your breath. 8. This last one is weird and takes practice. Want to create a weird, robotic-sounding whistle? Start by whistling. Try to maintain the whistle noise while simultaneously humming with your throat. The two sound waves will create a weird noise. I think it's called constructive interference or something like that. That's all, folks. Greasy hair, no shampoo, comb your hair before you shower. In the shower, wash your hair with hot water. Then at the end of the shower, wash your hair with cold water. Ta-da! Hair is much more moist and healthy. Professor here, rewrite your notes in your own words. The single best hack for quick learning possible. Thanks for watching until the end. If you have a hack you'd like to list, please do so in the comments below. Then be sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you know when our next video is up. For more videos like this one, please stop by our channel. Thanks again, and see you next time!